It is good to hang out with friends. How you guys doing? I think it's a little bit before 10 after 12. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Oh man, look at these deer. Oh wow. A whole wow, there's a whole family of deer just pulled out and pulled out in front of me. Walked in front of you. That is so cool. I don't know if you guys get deer in your area, but Oklahoma's filled with them. I love seeing those creatures. They're so cool. I'm going to turn this light on here. A wise man was once asked if the you of today could visit the 10-year-old you and you could only use one sentence to tell him something, what would you tell yourself? And without hesitation, the wise man said, here's what I would say to myself. You don't have time. Therefore, he's continuing on with that same sentence. You don't have time. Therefore, do all the good you can in every place you can, in every way you can, to all the people you can, simply because you can. See, the hallmark of a truly good person, and there are bad people in this world, guys. It doesn't take long to just start racking up those names. John and Tony Podesta, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. These are all bad people. But a truly, truly good person has within their heart an insatiable desire, a ferocious appetite to just do what's right. To just do what's right. Though the heavens fall and the earth crumble beneath your feet, I will do what is right. Another deer just passed in front of me. That is weird. A deer on this street? Oops. Had to stop at this government line. I mean, doing what is right. Building relationships. Seeking truth. And not seeking truth to beat somebody down, but to build somebody up. Isn't that, like, that's what life is. I don't care about what material possessions you have. I don't care about the fancy title people call you, or how popular you are, or how much fame you've acquired. If you're not a good person, what good is your life? It's no good at all. If you're going to lie to people, if you're going to deceive people, if you're going to coerce people, you're not a good person. There's nothing good in you. There's a scripture I remember from a while back. It said, if your eyes are good, your whole body will be full of light. So my takeaway from that is, if your eyes are good, you have a focus. You have a singular focus. And that's just to do what is right. In a world where things have gone so wrong, you just want to do what is cotton picking right. That's it. So what would you say to yourself, your 10-year-old self, if you could go back in time and just say one sentence? Because I can't encapsulate it any more than you don't have time. Neither you nor I know when our time is going to come, when our life is going to be over. And don't you want to do all the good you can in every way you can, in every place you can, to all the people you can, simply because you can? Isn't that like a freeing thought? It's like, no matter what happens to me, I'm just going to do what's right. Forget complaining, forget whining about how life is, how tough things are for you. We all go through tough things. We're all on a journey. You know, like there could be people out there, you know, maybe in the chat room right now, maybe you just got diagnosed with cancer, or, you know, maybe you're like earlier today in the live stream, somebody said that they just lost somebody murdered his 20-year-old son, who, if he was armed with the personal protection device, firearm, he could have had a fighting chance. His life is over. My life could be over before I hit the front door of my house tonight. In a myriad of different ways. I could be, you know, I could have a heart attack. Anything could happen. So my announcement is something happened to me yesterday that it was totally out of the blue, completely unexpected at work. And maybe I'll go into detail later. I've kind of been kicking around this idea for a long time, and I think I've mentioned it, one or two times on a video. But something happened to me that I can't, in my good conscience. Is that a cop following me? That'd be interesting because I'm like 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. Oh, wouldn't that be great to get pulled over on a live stream? Doing nothing wrong. Isn't that funny how you watch your P's and Q's when you think a cop is behind you? I don't know if you can see the lights. There you go. There's the lights. Wouldn't that be just poetic? I have an announcement to make. Oh, sorry, I can't make that announcement. I'm about to get pulled over. Oh, it wasn't a cop, but man, he was close. I'll tell you what, guys, anytime you get pulled over by law enforcement, your life is literally dangling in the balance. Anything could happen when you encounter a psychopathic power tripper. So anyway, something happened to me at work yesterday, completely out of the blue, caught me way off guard, where I can't, in my good conscience, continue to work there. So I put in my 2-week notice today, dated from yesterday, when I had this conversation with my employer. I just can't, like there's certain things, you got boundaries, man, and you have a standard, and it's like this far and no more. I can't do it. Can't play the game, can't put on happy face, can't do the fake thing, just not gonna happen. See, the reason I'm driving home right now at midnight is because my shift, which is about to be my former shift, is a 4 to 12. I get off at midnight, Central Standard Time. I'm going to pull over here in this parking lot so I can just chat with you guys, see who's in the room. So, the way I grew up and the people that I was surrounded with, I had a fairly good childhood, guys. I hear about all these horror stories about people getting molested. Nothing even remotely close to that even happened to me. So I consider myself quite fortunate because I can see how that would mess a kid up and an adult later on in life in your head. Let's see, where's the best place to have a light? I'm in this Walmart parking lot. Let's get away from all the madness. Oh, how you guys doing? Thanks for hanging out, man. 677 people at midnight? God, are you guys crazy? So I put in my 2-week notice, and here's the deal with me. I grew up all my life just seeing people, like men in my life, just working. They were diehards working. I've known, steel workers and people who worked in mines, and people in grocery stores, the butcher, the plumber. You just worked. That's what you did. So early on in life, I just wanted to work. It didn't matter if I was working for myself or working for an employer or whatever. So I started cutting yards when I was like, I can't remember right now if it was 11 or 12 years old. But the funny thing is, and I think I told this story before, I mowed people's yards with an electric mower, which required me to go into their house if they didn't have a plug on the inside and give them this extension cord so that I could cut their yard, which was a pretty good deal because I didn't have to pay for gas. And man, that electric lawnmower is great. So, and then I went out into the W-2, wage slave workforce. And I think it was around 1982 or 83 when I was 15, got my driver's license early, just, learn the value of a dollar. I know it's fiat currency, but that's the terminology we use these days. And so up to 2 weeks from now, I've been working multiple jobs at a time. I remember when I lived in Nashville, Tennessee, I worked at Yellow Freight and Consolidated Freight to put myself through college, along with Captain D's on Donaldson Pike, which is now a car dealership, and the Captain D's moved across the street. But I just worked because I always just wanted to work. I didn't want people to do for me. I didn't have an entitled mentality. I didn't want people to give me money for nothing. I wanted to do something. And so it's the reason I'm saying that is, in putting in my 2-week notice And I've been milling this around for about a year or a year and a half, maybe even close to 2 years. And every time I plan something, YouTube does something to, make it so that it's not at all profitable to do YouTube. So this is kind of going out on a limb. See, I still got kids to support and feed and put a roof over their heads. Trish, we're tight, and I'm going to take care of her till the rest of, my life and hers. And so it's kind of a, it's scary, invigorating kind of feeling, if you guys know what I'm saying. It's definitely a new thing for me. So I've always been working for the man, the W-2 wage slave job. I can't remember who said something about it. You got a wage slave job? Yeah, I've been in this same industry, and I'm not comfortable revealing what my job is right now until I leave, and we can have that conversation later or whatever. And I'm not into drama. That's why I gotta leave, and I'm not into being putting on a fake face and pretending like things are okay. And like I said, something was sprung on me yesterday that's like, whoa, you've got to be kidding. Maybe I'll share it with you later. So I put in my 2-week notice, which means that I'm gonna have to come up with some way to make money. And I am not saying this for you guys to support me. I'm not looking for support. But here's the deal. I've had this 9 to 5, basically 4 to 12 wage slave job, and doing YouTube. So YouTube is literally a full-time job. I spend hours and hours and hours a day, and I'm glad. I love doing it. I love bringing out the truth, and I love exposing falsehood, and I just want to make the world a better place. I do literally, and I know you guys do too. This isn't exclusive to me by any means. I just want to do all the good I can to all the people I can in all the ways I can in every place I can, just because I can. I want to do that. And I feel like my tenure at this job, and I've been in this same industry, this is what I was going to say. I've been in this same industry since May of 1990. That's almost 40. I can't even believe I'm saying this. 40? No, 30. It's almost 30 years. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's 3 decades, just shy of 3 decades. I've been in the same industry. I like it. I like the science behind it. I like what I do, but I've hit a dead end. I can't really impact any more people at my job. And so I'm stuck. And I want to use whatever gifts and talents that I have to be able to affect more people. So, and I've had a lot of requests from maybe a lot of you guys to go out and do the man on the street interviews from just a liberty perspective, a non-agenda, non-political party statist objective, which I don't see. I mean, there are some people that do it, but it's kind of small time. And I want to do that because I am so convinced, guys, because I've seen it. I'm not convinced because I believe, and I'm just taking somebody's word for it. I just think it might happen, or I have this wishful thinking. I've seen brush fires of freedom kindled in the minds and hearts of men to the point where it literally changes people's lives, and almost nothing stokes me more than that. When I see you guys talking truth, and peace and justice, and I'm not talking about social justice warrior. I'm talking about real justice that hates evil. That's another mark of a good person, is not only do you have this burning fire of good inside your heart, but you cannot stand and can't wait to tear into and frickin' expose evil. Because truth literally fears no scrutiny, guys. It does not fear scrutiny. You know what? I mean, it's getting hot in here. I'm gonna just give me a thumbs up if you want me to keep going. Because if you don't want me to keep going, if I don't get like 50 thumbs up, I'll just go ahead and end it real quick. But my car is, I don't want to start the car again, and it's just kind of steaming up in here, and I just want to walk. I just feel like walking. I feel liberated today putting in my resignation. It feels really good, man. I want to be able to spend more time, more energy on my family. That's another thing, is I spend all day on YouTube, and then I go away to work for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6, because there's overtime involved and everything. And so especially my boys, my youngest son has grown like 2.5, 3 inches in the last year. And I'm like, I missed a lot of that, So and sometimes you got to weigh your options, and there's sacrifice involved in a lot of this. Keep going. Okay. You know what? I might just start the car. Let's keep going. There's sacrifice. The most important thing in my life is my family. And I feel like, it's a double-edged sword, because when you go off to work, you're supplying their needs. You're doing for them. I got to turn this air on so I can. You're doing for them, but you have to be away from them, and you miss so many things. That's why home-based businesses and homeschooling is, oh my gosh, man. I am so thankful to have had the opportunity to homeschool every single one of my kids. My youngest one, like I said, is about to graduate next year, and it's just a really, really good feeling to see them grow. So it's kind of a tug of war. Yeah, I got to go away to work so I can supply for your needs, put food in your stomach and a roof over your head. But dang it, I'm missing seeing you guys grow, and with my face in the computer all the time, looking up stories and finding out. By the way, before I left work, I saw this alert on my phone. This guy named George Nader. Anybody know about this story yet? Because I did a Google search and a DuckDuckGo search, and CNN hasn't touched this, and MSLSD hasn't touched this. Wonder why. This guy named George Nader is found to have been convicted of being a pedophile and inextricably linked with the Hillary Clinton campaign back in 2016, to the point where he contributed $3.5 million to her campaign. And this guy is literally, and when I say child porn, when the authorities got to him, he had little kids as young as 2 and 3 years old, sexually suggestive crap on his phone. Hooked with Hillary Clinton. Who'd have thought? And for a fact, you guys know I'm not for Trump, but if that came out and him being a donor for Trump, oh man, it's all over. Bring it on, bring that guy down. But ain't nobody gonna say anything about Hillary Clinton. Wonder why. Howard Stern interviews Hillary Clinton. Thanks for the super chats, guys. I'll probably have to I'll try to give you a shout out if I can scroll through, but it's kind of weird on the phone. I don't have my computer open. See, Howard Stern gives the most helium balloon filled, not even softball, guys. It's how light can we touch Hillary? We don't want to damage Hillary. Oh, Hillary, you're so great. You're so smart. You're so wise. You have so much to bring to the table. You would have made a great leader. That kind of crap. And then I find this 2-year-old Howard Stern, the cops are patrolling. This 2-year-old Howard Stern video where he's pissed off at Hillary because her and her campaign aren't returning a phone call, because he wants to get her on his broadcast to introduce her to his predominantly male audience. It's just complete hypocrisy, guys. These guys are just in it for the ratings. They're just in it for the money. They're just in it for the power. And who the heck knows what else is going on? So this George Nader gets nabbed as a child sex predator, and he's completely linked with Hillary Clinton and the DNC. And CNN's not going to cover it. MSNBC's not going to cover it. And when I see that kind of stuff, it just boils my blood, man. And then I'm thankful for you, and it's like that's a double-edged sword too, because I'm thankful for you guys, and I'm thankful for the platform that I have. And then December 10th is coming around the corner, where YouTube is gonna determine who is and who isn't commercially viable. And I'm telling you guys, if you have favorite content creators on YouTube and you do not want to lose touch with them, and you do not want to rely on a third-party platform to keep your relationship together, find out if they got a BitChute channel, a Gab channel, a Twitter account, Instagram, whatever it is, website, and go to them and support them. Because, once that link is broken, it'd be like 3 months go by. It's like, how come High Impact hasn't uploaded a video? How come he's gone? He's gone. It's gonna happen, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and presuppose that it's just gonna happen. If it doesn't, okay, icing on the cake, and hey, no harm, no foul. But I can't see it not happening. Like Styx Hexenhammer's going down, Steven Crowder going down. I'm not saying I'm endorsing all these guys. I'm just telling you, people like their content and want their content, and the free market would say, hey, there's a demand, they have a supply, it's supply and demand, leave it be. But that's not how YouTube operates. That's not how Facebook works. That's not how Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is operating things. They just want to censor people because they want to keep you safe. No, they don't. They just want to control you. They want to control the narrative, and they want to tear out people's tongues because they fear what these people have to say. So, coming all the way around, I've put my 2-week notice in. What you can expect from me, and a lot of people have said, "Hey, do that join thing where you do memberships." Give me some suggestions on highimpactflix.com. Email at me at contact@highimpactflix.com and tell me what you think the tiers should be. You know, there are people that do 3 or 4 or 5 tiers or whatever. Tell me what you think would be fair. What's a fair price? I feel kind of funny about putting a price on that kind of stuff. But what it is I'm always going to provide free content. The tier idea is just something extra special above and beyond for people who want to support you. By the way, thank you guys who support me on Patreon. Thank you so much for the PayPal contributions, for Subscribestar. You have no idea how much easier this transition is going to be with that right there. So having said all that, I think I brought my glasses. I was just going to see who's in the room here. Where did my glasses go? Thank you guys for hanging out, man. Humbling as anything. You know what's so funny? I was thinking about that. I just saw, hey, love you too, Loki. Thank you, Goober. What's up, Peanut? Thank you. Hey, Jason. Andy, you're the man. Cheers to you. InfoWars is designed, Shill says Justin. Hey, you know what? I was actually thinking about the term InfoWars. I mean, it literally is an InfoWar. It literally is. And the great social equalizer is the internet. The internet, that's why people want to come against the internet. That's why mainstream, fake stream, CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird propaganda campaign, 24/7 psychological operation, wants to put an end to the internet, wants to put a kibosh on it, wants to censor you because they can't tolerate, just like government, they can't tolerate competition. There are people with their freaking cell phones sitting on the couch eating potato chips, getting better reviews than Anderson Cooper 360, than Brian Stelter. These multi-billion-dollar corporations, mega corporations out there, giving it all they got, being pummeled. The Goliath is being pummeled by the David sitting at his kitchen table, drinking coffee with, sitting in his underwear. I'm not talking about me. I'm not going to sit there in my underwear. So don't expect that. Don't expect that to be one of the tiers. I'm not sitting in my underwear for any tier. I don't care. So anyway, guys, it is an info war. And we are basically, I mean, I hate to even co-opt the term, but we are info warriors. You have to constantly counteract the BS, man. You got to put on your galoshes. You remember that term in South Bend, Indiana, when I was growing up? Do you have your galoshes on if you don't have your... And then you put the bread bag sacks over your socks so your socks wouldn't get wet. But then your socks ended up getting wet because your feet were sweating within your socks. It was just... Man... It was a fun childhood, man. Do you guys remember the bread bags on your feet before you put your galoshes on? Anybody remember that? Or am I just giving away my age? You're so old, Brian. What are galoshes? What the heck are you talking about? You remember Mr. JP? Your team, Cleation Abilo? Did Brian say he wasn't wearing underwear? Come on, Atomic Blonde. Atomic Blonde. Come on, I did not say that. Okay, Boomer. Too young for that, says Laszlo. Yeah, they used to call them galoshes, and we did use Wonder Bread bags for our feet to keep our feet from getting wet, and our feet got wet anyway. Man, back then you could really get into some pretty intense snowball fights. When was the last time you were... That's another thing, man. Just spending time with family, doing just fun stuff, you know? Not have to be weighed down with the job. So anyway, here's the deal. I intend to go full bore on YouTube. I've been going full bore, but I've been extremely limited. Thankfully, I've had a job where I can get my job done, please my employer, and still do the research that it takes to get videos out. I'm very thankful for that. And don't think for a second that I haven't been thankful for this job that I've had. It's just, I've got to make a change, man. I've got to make a change because I got to do... Have you ever had the feeling where there's just something more you got to do in life before life is over? because life is passing us by so quick, man. We only have 86,400 seconds in a day. And how many hundreds have we already consumed right now? It just makes you, it just wants you, like you cut out things in your life that are weighing you down. It's like you get rid of TV, you stop watching mainstream, fake stream media, at least stop watching it in the sense of turning your minds off and just letting them do your thinking for you. I watch tons of mainstream media, fake stream media. But I'm like those Dow scrubbing bubbles from back in the 70s. We work hard. We watch CNN so you don't have to. Get scrubbing bubbles. Anyway, I don't know if anybody, I'm just totally giving my age away here. I love each and every single one of you. I'm going to go ahead and try to keep this short right here. Thank you for, let me see if I can address some super chats here. But all Buster says mercantilism is the system, no competition. Yeah, and that's what the government, you know what the government's good at? The government's good at, and I've said this time and time again, at breaking your legs, giving you a government-funded, taxpayer-funded crutch, and saying, see, if it weren't for the government, you wouldn't be able to walk, boy. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you bowing down to me and thanking the good Lord for government? Joel says, Brian, your channel and your thought-provoking message really changed my life. Man, that is so humbling, man. I used to be a cop until I started thinking for myself, holy mackerel, man. I would love to have you on a live stream, Joel. Hit me up at contact@highimpactflix.com. I'm the world's worst because I'm so limited on time, guys. I'm the world's worst at checking my email. But Joel, hit me up, and I would really like to talk to you from that perspective right there. I really, really would, man. Thank you so much for that super chat. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I hope my finger's not getting in the way here. Ellipso Orange, dude, you're the best. Keep going, bro. Man, thank you, man. Thank you. You guys are the best. No blowing smoke there either. But All Buster says, I would not have had my daughter if I couldn't keep her away from public school and vaccines. I had my business before we thought about children. Are you saying you did homeschool, All Busters? I would not have had my daughter if I couldn't keep her away from public school and vaccines. If you're saying you got her away from public schools and vaccines, bravo, man. That is awesome. I love hearing that kind of stuff, man. That freaking fires me up. And if you got kids who are in public school and you're stuck in the system, guys, I understand. Once you get into the system, it is really hard to detach because they call CPS. The child becomes truant. They want to intervene in your lives. Oh, you're neglecting your child because you took them out of public schools. Oh man, guys, I totally feel for anybody who's in that kind of position. ATF agent job question unauthorized.tv question mark. Good luck to you. ATF agent job? I wouldn't ever work for the ATF. How many children did they kill in Waco along with the FBI? Let's talk about a domestic terror cell. You want to talk about a mass murder? Don't look any further than Waco. But All Buster says, I quit IBEW and started my own business 6+ years ago. Awesome, man. Homeschooling your kids, escaping from vaccines, home business. That's where it's at right there. 24/7 family. I can do that. Thanks, Awakened Mind. Thank you for that super chat. No message for Awakened Mind. Baal Busters also. Man, you're lighting it up, aren't you, Baal Busters? Baal, that's like a false god, right? Baal from the Bible, isn't it? Is it Greek or Hebrew? I think it's Hebrew. Take action, do the right thing, inform others, build a community. I worked since 12. Sounds like the same story. Started stacking hay bales. I've done that, man. That is tough stuff. That weighed more than me for $4 an hour. There you go. Sounds, I mean, I wasn't doing hay that young. I was doing hay in our barn, but never for a job. But I identify with the $4 an hour. My first wage at Captain D's in Donaldson, Tennessee was $3.35 an hour. And I remember how stoked I was to get a 10-cent raise to $3.45. Woo! Oh my gosh, I'm in the money, man. I was 15 years old, living the life, man. Had a 1978 Toyota Corolla. That thing was the best. And if I didn't wreck that thing because I was a stupid, unthinking kid, I think I would still have it today. That was a great vehicle. 1978 Toyota Corolla, silver. It was all oxidized and stuff. I didn't care, man. A to B. Ballbuster says, dude, you are lighting up the board. Thank you. I appreciate it. Awesome. Great job. But I'm not buying your damn t-shirts at 25 bucks a pop. The reason they're that is because, what is it? It's a tri-blend. It's not like a cheapo shirt. It's a tri-blend deal. So I opted for like higher quality, and I understand, guys. I understand. Snapzilla Gorilla says, much love and respect to you and yours, my guy. Keep up the good fight. Let's stand together and continue to fight for freedom. Amen, man. And that's another thing, too. With not being like shackled to an 8 to 5, 4 to 12, all these things, it would be such an awesome experience to do these, the meet and greets, man, just to see your guys' faces, to hear your stories, to hear how you're changing your neighborhoods, impacting the people around you. Just to talk about freedom to people who actually have the lights on. You know what I mean? Do you ever walk in the grocery store or just around town and you're like, my God, what has happened to my generation? Why are people walking around like zombies, man? Their faces are, and you smile at somebody, and the normal human response when somebody smiles at you, or at least for me, I know for normal people, is you smile back and you say, hey, how you doing? You having a good day? What's going on? You smile at them and it's like, do, lights aren't on and nobody's home. It's like the lights aren't even on. What's going on with that? Let's see. I think I went all the way to the top. Now let me go all the way to the bottom. Oh, there's a nice little blue arrow. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh, Mr. JP, man. Thank you. That's so freaking humbling. I really appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. You guys. Amy Carter, is that the hey, RTR Truth Media is in the house. Thanks RTR Truth Media for dropping by. RTR Truth Media, Tom at RTR Truth Media puts out some really thought-provoking, in-your-face, hard-hitting content. Check out his channel. Thanks for being here, Tom. Finally got your wrench, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it was so hard to get you that wrench. Tom says, health issues took me out, but I'm coming back, bro. Man, I hope you get better. I've seen people go through Lyme, man. It's just, and from the person who has Lyme, from their perspective, the most, well, not the most torturous thing, the thing that adds insult to injury is that you look normal from the outside. And so you don't really get any empathy or compassion for people. It's like, come on, get up. There's nothing wrong with you. And you're racked with pain, man. It's in your bones. It's in your sinews. God, if you read about Lyme, it is not in people's heads. It's in their bodies. And those, I think it's Barigdella bedorferi is this corkscrew like amoeba or bacteria, whatever. I'm just trying to struggle for words here, but it tries to penetrate the blood-brain barrier and it gets into your mind. That's where the brain fog comes from, and people don't think right. They start not acting right. They're definitely not feeling right. So I feel for you, Tom, man. I really hope you recover from that. That is just an insidious disease. And they call it Lyme disease because the first case of it was in Lyme, Connecticut. And I'm almost convinced that it was a genetically engineered disease foisted upon the American people, man. Sure looks like it to me. And people cannot tell me for a second, because people are like, oh, you can't get it from mosquitoes. Mosquito is a blood-sucking parasite. A tick is a blood-sucking parasite. If there's any kind of transfer of blood, be it ever so minute and microscopic, that gets into your bloodstream. And it affects you, man. You affect the blood, you make the blood bad, you're going to affect the entire individual. Little Red Riding Pill, that's a cool name. Been with you for a long time, love your channel. Thanks so much for the super chat. Little Red, oh shoot, I almost stopped the live stream. Little Red Riding Pill. That's a cool name. Some of you guys come up with some seriously clever names. The funniest one so far is Buttholosaurus. Butthole, are you out there? Buttholosaurus. All Buster says Jays are just property managers of Rome's estate. Well, Zionists, I agree. I agree with the Zionist thing. I know some Jay friends that cannot stand and will expose to the death Zionists, and they are dyed in the wool Jays. Of Aaron C says only idiots support Brian still. He avoids true red pill topics. He deflects the elephant in the room, Jays, and just deflected the InfoWars topic. How did I deflect the InfoWars topic? I only talked about InfoWars being a truism. It is truly an InfoWars. And broad brushing of Aaron C, I disagree with your premise that you can group all Jays into the same lump, just like you can't group all black people into the same lump. I know a lot through my life, outstanding, hardworking, highly moral, black, Hispanic, white, Asian people of integrity. It's kind of like back in the 1940s when they lumped all Japs in and they put them in those internment camps. Thanks, Mr. President, for putting the Japs in the Not all Japs were like that. They didn't. There were people that were not sympathetic to the other side, which I'm not so sure the other side was the other side. I mean, what really happened at Pearl Harbor, huh? They knew the attack was coming. Did they plan the attack? Did they foist the attack? Was it a false flag attack? Stay tuned. You'll find out. Little Red Riding Pill said we had rubber band fights. Yeah, I remember those. You wrap them around your finger and it's like it goes over your thumb and just snaps you in the face. Fun stuff. Or the kick me sign on the back. Okay, so I'm at the end of that. Let me see. Yeah, I stick around. Gosh, who was it? Of Aaron C. Yeah, thanks for the slam. No problem though. I don't agree with your premise that you can group all J's in when it's a Zionist problem, when it's a statist problem. How many white people do you know that are statists? Are you against those white people? Virtually everybody you know is a statist. Think about it. Virtually everybody you know believes that somebody somewhere, if they claim to have the authority of the state, has a higher claim over your life and property than you. That's exactly what Zionism is. The Zionists want to take over the world. They want to control you. And that's what government is. It comes from the two Latin words, governo and mentis. Governo meaning to govern or control, and mentis, which means the mind, to control the mind. That's what Zionists want to do. They want to control the mind. They want to control the mind of the person and therefore control the person. That's why I hate euphemisms like gun control. It's not gun control. It's people control. The war on drugs, it's not a war on drugs. It's a war on people. Drugs don't go to jail. Although drugs do make their way to jail. People go to jail. It's a war on people. Prohibition was not a war on alcohol. It was a war on people, and people despised it. And they had a workaround. They had free market workarounds on it. Hey, what's up, Drone Wolf? I don't know where the milk came from. Drone milk. Hey, did you get your drone milk today? Stiff stuff. Baal Brothers, sorry to self-plug, but I put a lot of work into my Baal Busters channel. If anybody wants to check it out, check out Baal Busters channel. Now, when I'm saying Baal Busters, I'm saying B-A apostrophe A-L, Baal, like the God, right? Baal Busters, like Baal in the Bible. I mean, that's the only place that I'm familiar with that. Drone Wolf says, feel better soon, Tom. All right, am I at the end? Let's see. I've been going for a long time here. I'm such a windbag. Babe, if you're tuned into the channel, I'm sitting in the Walmart parking lot talking to a bunch of freedom fighters and freedom lovers, and I'll be home in a jiffy. Hunter Vex says, I'm not going to say that. I hate blank so much. Every single one are tyrants. I agree. Every single one are tyrants. I can't say that though. And you know what? You know what I would rather do? You know what I would rather see, like in a perfect world? Like when I address cops, I address them as just people, not officer, not sir. It's like, hey, what's your name? Officer Townsend. Yeah, I know, but what's your name? You know, Larry. Well, Larry, can we talk as like just two adults? I don't want to force you to do anything. I don't want to coerce you to do anything. And I would expect that you would not want to coerce and force me. Don't you want to get them out mentally out of the uniform? Because if you do, then you can deal with them on the level playing field of personhood. He's just a person. He doesn't have more rights and authority than you. I don't care what he thinks about his uniform, badge and gun and the authority of the state. He's just a person. So I can't even say that I hate them. I don't want them to be immersed in statism, because them being immersed in statism and their brains being messed up causes them to do evil things to people that they wouldn't want done to themselves. So I can't say that I hate them. I hate their actions. I definitely hate their actions. Oh shoot. Was I gonna ask what question was I gonna ask you, Amy Carter? Sorry. Dang, I'm so scatterbrained. I'm just stoked about my 2 week notice. Someone who tries to do someone who this is from the Wolf RT2. Someone who tries to get somebody who tries to get rid of our freedoms is guilty of treason. Agree. And that's why with this Trump impeachment thing, guys, there are so many things, legitimate things you could impeach Trump for, but you know why they won't do it? Because they're guilty of the same exact things. That Pelosi and Schiff and Schumer and all those guys on the left and all the guys on the right, there's certain things that they won't say. They won't call them out because they know as soon as they say it, somebody will go, huh, doesn't that apply to you also? Like Nazi Pelosi, excuse me, sorry, Nasty Pelosi, sorry, I'm sorry, I keep saying that. Nancy Pelosi gets up there in front of CNN, MSNBC, all the reporters, the fake news reporters, talking about how we need to stand for the Constitution. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That'd be like Jeffrey Dahmer getting up there and going, we need to stand for not eating children. We need to stand for Boy Scouts against cannibalism. It'd be like Jeffrey Epstein saying we need to stand for against child sex trafficking. Nazi Pelosi's going, we need to stand for the Constitution. What a freaking hypocrite. You have got to be kidding me. Get on down the road with your bad self. And I don't mean bad, I mean bad. You're bad. You're a bad person. Bad. Bad Nazi Pelosi, Nasty Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi. Bad. You are bad. Snapzilla says, drop the statism and take up Carlinism. You know, George Carlinism. I've been up on George since the 1990s. Carlin. You got to admit, man, when a comedian gets up there on stage and makes more sense than a politician, you got to wonder how upside down our upside down world is, man. If you haven't seen Carlin talk about the real state of politics and who owns this country, got you by the balls. It's a big club and you ain't in it. I mean, classic stuff, man. But you know, people will laugh and they'll leave the auditorium and they won't even think, they won't internalize that. See, the thing with truth is you don't just hold truth. Because if you hold it, you're not going to keep it for very long. You have to internalize it. It has to become a part of you. If it doesn't become a part of you, then it's not truly truth to you. You got to apprehend it and then jealously guard it. Becca Shamil says, cops commit crimes every day on duty and off duty. Yep, exactly. And so when you see a law enforcer pull somebody over, you are literally seeing a crime in progress committed in broad daylight on camera. That's what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. And you have to actually prove with logic that there are good cops, because I see no proof for it. You cannot be a righteous law enforcer, because if you're a law enforcer, you're a political parasite enforcer, enacting and walking out and fleshing out the laws of the political parasites who want to restrict your freedoms and take more of your money. And you can't be a good person when you do that. So anybody who takes that oath and swears to uphold every law, including the evil, downright dastardly, immoral, and disgusting ones, and there's a lot of them, you can't call yourself a good person. Not only that, if there's so many good cops in the world, how come they're not throwing all these other bad cops in jail? It ain't happening. Yeah, it happens in sprinkles here and there when the infraction gets so big and the uprising is so overwhelming, they got to do something. But other than that, you ain't going to see a cop go to jail. And if they do, it's not going to be for a long time. Look at Amber Geiger. 10 years? You got to be kidding. She's going to be out on parole before you know it. Boom. And then all she has to do is apply to another county and they'll accept her. Why? Because that's the thin blue line. They all look out for each other. The Masonic thin blue line, the Fraternal Order of Police. We got your back. Don't worry. You're going to go to jail, but it'll be a nice jail and we're going to protect you with our prison guards. They got some smooth roads, man. Ocean A says, here's some milk money. Thanks. I had milk on the brain. Quiet Storm 1323 says, Brian, I wish I could donate more. Man, Kentucky guy here, appreciate you being brutally honest. Everyone fight the good fight. Yeah, let's all do it, man. Thanks, Quiet Storm. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the shout out and thanks for the super chat. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just want to tell you guys, expect more content. You know, maybe more fine-tuned content. Expect man on the street interviews. My small town is pretty limited. There's not a lot going on here. You don't get conventions and protests and stuff like that. I want to hit those protests and meet some of these guys. I want to meet, I keep wanting to say Caitlyn Jenner. What's her last name? Caitlyn from Liberty Hangout. What's her name, guys? Caitlyn something. Somebody give me the name, last name. Caitlyn Bennett. That's right. I want to meet her and I want to talk to her and I want to ask, how can you support Trump and say you're a libertarian? It's complete. Thanks, Bennett, all over the place. I want to meet him again. I don't have anything I don't have any ill will toward her. I want to meet the guy for the walk away, Straka. I want to meet the guy from the walk away thing. I want to meet Fleckus Talks. You know, Trump ain't so bad. I want to meet, I want to get out there and meet, that's the point with Brandon. You know, somebody call some of these people out. I want to meet Owen Benjamin, Owen Schroyer, and talk to these guys. And if I see Steven Crowder out there, ask him all these questions. Yeah, Brandon Straka from the Walk Away campaign. All they've done, when you leave the Democrat Party and go to the Republican Party, you've just crossed to the other side of the road of statism. You guys are still heading in the same direction. You're just on the other side of the road. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me who's a shill. I just want to talk to him. I'm not scared. Yeah, Ben Shapiro, I'd love to talk to that guy. I'm not scared of confrontation because, guys, when you've apprehended the truth, and I'm not saying that I am the sole procurator of truth and I have all truth and knowledge and wisdom. So let's just get that straight right now. But when you've apprehended the truth, or rather, when the truth has apprehended you and grabbed you and said, what the heck are you doing? Live life in truth, in the spirit of truth, in the spirit of wisdom, in the spirit of knowledge, in the spirit of exposing falsehood. When it grabs a hold of you, dude, there ain't no turning back. I mean, don't you want, like when you get good news, don't you want people to get what you got? Like, because life is so much better. Relationships are so much smoother. There's this word. Do you guys know where the word sincerely comes from? When you sign the bottom part of the letter, sincerely, Brian, it comes from a couple words that literally means without wax. In other words, there's no veneer. You're getting me. You're getting who I am. What you see is what you get. It's like sine cera or something like that. Sincere means without wax. Genuine. That's what truth does to you. It just makes you a genuine person. It makes you tell the truth. It makes you expose lies. It makes you not fearful of somebody questioning your stand or your position. Why? Because you don't have an agenda just to push it. Oh yeah, I just want to look good and I want to be a part of that party or I want to be a part of that group. No, there's none of that. It's like, I just want to be consistent with the truth. And like I said, though the heavens fall and the earth crumbled between your feet, yet I just want to do what's right. That's all I want. And I want other people to do right around me because, guys, doing what is right literally equals freedom. It's real, honest to goodness, genuine, without wax, completely sincere freedom. And nothing is more freeing than freedom and apprehending the truth and having it apprehend you. Nothing. So don't you want other people to have that? Oh, sure, we're going to mess up along the way. There's stuff in our minds, still in my mind, that needs to be cleansed out, like real brainwashing with the truth. What's happening on the 24/7 propaganda machine is you're not being brainwashed, you're being brain muddied. But you got to reverse that and be brainwashed by the truth. And you'll on your journey, you just keep walking toward further, just a greater pool of truth, a deeper experience. And then you can have genuine relationships, because it literally is without wax. It's without hypocrisy. This is who I am. What you see is what you get. There's no fakery. There's no, I want you to call me a female, and if you don't, I'm going to charge you $250,000, New York. My name's not Brian, it's a Brianna. And yeah, so what? I'm a biological male. No, I'm a female, because I feel it. Facts do not care about your feelings. They never have, and they never will. And for us to placate people, another thing I can't stand about fake stream media, they coddle people in their lies and their deception. That not only doesn't do people good, that destroys the very fabric of society. And it's almost like in the body. The building blocks that make up protein are the amino acids, the essential amino acids. And one of the amino acids of society is the family unit. You split that apart and goodbye society. Goodbye. Ain't looking back, ain't coming back. You take away the father and the mother in a relationship, to remove the father from that equation. Oh my gosh. Start feeling some serious empathy for those kids, because things ain't going to be going well. Let's see. Another super chat. I just saw it in blue. Where was it? Shoot. Sorry, guys. Jen G. Wait, is that the last one? That was green. I saw a blue. Darn it. Sorry, I don't want to waste your time. Oh, okay. There was Quiet Storm in yellow, and then Gen G's in green. Let me see. What did Gen G say? Oh, Gen G says, thanks for the super chat, by the way, Jen. Brian, I missed your announcement. Would you please recap quickly for those of us joining late? Thank you so much. You rock. I put in my 2-week notice effective starting yesterday. So I have literally 8 more working days left. And I'm planning on utilizing that time to just go full bore on YouTube and just go out and do man on the street interviews and a whole lot of things. Usage warning. How did I get a usage warning on my phone? I thought I had unlimited data. And so just going full pedal to the metal with YouTube. And the big part of me putting in my 2-week notice is I've got to spend more time with my family, more quality time, because my face is literally always in the computer. And I know you miss a lot of things. You miss a lot of things. So that's my announcement. It's a super life-changing thing for me, because hey, I'm a pretty old guy and I've been working all my life, so this is super different. I'm not going to stop working. I'm just going to funnel all my energies into something that creates a greater impact. Thus, maybe high impact flicks, because the job that I have, I've affected and impacted all the people that I possibly can, and now I'm stagnant and I can't stay there. Also, something happened yesterday that was completely out of the blue, out of my control, and in good conscience, I can no longer stay at my current place of employment. And I may give further details later, but I don't want to do any drama tonight. Talks with Ryan YouTube channel says, telling the truth really is a revolutionary act. It truly is, man. And like these quotes from Orwell, you see the memes all the time. 1984 was not meant to be an instruction manual. It was meant to be fiction. And here we are living 1984. No telling how many cameras, government cameras, Walmart cameras, I'm sitting in a Walmart parking lot right now, are on me right now at this moment. I've answered that question about the announcement about my 2-week notice and then pouring all my energies and time and resources into YouTube. But all brothers, It's not the Jays, it's the Jesuits in Rome. Yeah, that's another thing. I want to do videos like that, you know, and talk about the Jesuits and all the deep crap that's really going on that we touch on, routinely, but it's only touching on. I want to do deep, maybe documentary type stuff. PTSD Joe says programmed. That's all your message was, programmed. Yeah, they don't call it television programming for nothing. Hey, what's up, JC? Hey, JC, that reminds me. I just threw you a wrench, buddy. I kept meaning to do that, but something was wrong the other day, and when I touched my screen, I couldn't throw anybody a wrench. So I got you a wrench now, JC. Hey, Drone Wolf, can you do me a favor? Or JC or whoever, can you put God, oh man, why did that escape me? There's a link to somebody else's channel. Who was it? Darn. I just lost it. Shoot. If I think about it, I will. Fishman says, Brian, if YouTube bans you, you're going to be effed. Hope you got more of a backup plan. Yeah, my backup plan at this point right now is, and while you guys are with me, go to my BitChute channel. It's under High Impact Flicks. All the links are in the description below. If you guys want to put those alternate links in the description, the admins, I'd really appreciate it. All right, guys. Trish is waiting for me, and she's probably wondering where the heck I am, because if she's not tuned into this live stream, she's probably thinking, oh, God, did he go to jail? Have the police scarfed him up? Hey, let's do this before I end. Where are you guys all from? I'm in Oklahoma. Where are you guys from? What state? What country? JC says, hey, man, I always point out people to watch your channel. Thanks, man, because it was you who helped me take off my veils. Man, that's humbling of statism. Thanks, man. Where are you guys from? Texas. Okay, Texas, Southern California. Where, Ghostface? Because I lived in, I got to get some water. Ghostface, I lived in Lancaster on the east side. Matter of fact, 43850 North 20th Street East. In between, what is that, Avenue J8 and K, I think it was. I don't know. It's been a long time. I haven't been there since 2008, September 2008.
Incoming call. I put it on the screen. There is a call for you.
All right, so we got Texas, Southern.
Do you wish to ignore?
Vancouver, British Columbia, West Virginia.
This call might be important.
Denver.
I've pushed the call to voicemail.
Somebody shining something in my face. Wow, that is one bright light, and it's all the way across the parking lot. Wow, I wonder what that is. It just went off. Texas, Rochester, New York, Birmingham, Alabama, New Zealand. Wow, California. Thanks, Drone Wolf. Get home, don't blame us. What did Brian say? What's up, Brian? Kansas here, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, brother, Tennessee. What part of Tennessee? Paul Robinson. I went to MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro. Connie says Washington. Thomas is in the state of confusion. I feel like that sometimes, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. Good night. Stay safe. Thanks, Jet. Is that Jet? Yeah. I got a rubber band in the way trying to keep this on my review mirror. Illinois, shared awareness. Steve's in California. Ball Brothers, Gnosis. Nashville. Joe. That's like, I went to high school at DuPont Senior High in Hermitage, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. And Nashville's like my stomping grounds. You know what we used to do when I was, when I was in 11th grade, 10th and 11th grade, because I had a co-op class because I had to get out early so I could go to work. But at night, we would go to night court in Nashville. Do you guys ever go to night court? It was the funniest thing to watch those drunk people stand before the judge. And we were all drinking. You know, we had drunk. You can't drink in the courtroom. But night court in Nashville, Tennessee are some of the best memories of my life. Municipal Auditorium. I went to go see Bon Jovi and 38 Special in 1986 at Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know if you're familiar with that area. Ohio, Utah, Texas, Ohio, Texas, Isle of Man, Father Bendover, El Paso, Texas. Cheers to you, White Feather. East Texas, Washington, Oklahoma. Wow. Roswell, New Mexico. got a buddy of mine. His name's Guy Malone. He does a lot of like UFO speaking things, and I can't remember. I think he's still in Roswell. But are you familiar, Melinda Ann? You familiar with Guy Malone? Woke in Southern California, Palmdale, Lancaster. I lived in Lancaster and worked at the Antelope Valley Press as the home delivery manager in Palmdale, which is right next to Plant 42. And I had a sign shop when I was in Palmdale. I'm talking of Woke in Southern California. I had a sign shop, and if you're near Palmdale or live in there, Plant 42 has the NASA signs. There's 4 NASA signs all around that building. There's 2 that are 20 feet in diameter and 2 that are 16 feet in diameter. I don't know how I won the bid when I was there, but they gave me the bid for those signs. And if those signs are still up, I put those signs. I didn't put them up. I created those signs. Actually, me and my kid, here's an interesting story that nobody knows outside of my family. Okay. When my kids are little, and I did that sign in 2000 and at the end of 2006, early 2007, it spanned like a month and it was in between years. But if you see those signs, by the way, Woke in Southern California, do me a favor. If you go, it's on Sierra Highway. If you go down Sierra Highway and you like pull in the parking lot where I think it's called Blackbird Air Park, where they have the Blackbird out there and they have a bunch of other planes. If you take a picture of that and that sign's still up there, send it to contact@highimpactflix.com. I want to see how that vinyl is holding up, because it's supposed to be like 15-year vinyl or something like that. But that's interesting that you live in Palmdale. What I was going to tell you was my kids and I did that. And my kids were little back then, and they were like vinyl sign maniac wonder kids. You know, they just did a great job. We ate on those signs. You know, when we took a break, we just sat down on the signs and ate, you know, burgers or fries, you know, whatever we were eating. And, you know, in between, because it was getting long and arduous putting all that vinyl on there. So we do push-ups and sit-ups and just calisthenics on them just to keep awake because it was taking so long. But Woke in Southern California, if you go by Plant 42 and those 4 signs are still wrapped around that building, you know, I'm talking about those buildings are, that building is like 90 or 100 feet high. And they had to hire a crew to put those things up on big boom lifts. But anyway, Jeff's from North Carolina, Sacramento, California, Portuguese, Sacramento. My brother lives near Sacramento in the El Dorado Hills area. Crystal is from Fremont, Alberta, Canada, Arlington, Washington, Boston. That threw me up. Boston, Massachusetts, Decatur, Alabama. Marion is in Maryland. Marion is in Maryland. David Agner, Ohio. Finland. Wow, I can't even pronounce your name. You're from Finland. Akanen Susi from Finland. Did I slaughter your name? Arizona, Wisconsin, Texas, Middle Tennessee. Cool. I went to MTSU, that diggity. Peanuts from Northern California, British Columbia, Canada, Kentucky, Alberta, TD. Let's see. Steve Powell's in Palmdale. There's a good buddy of mine in Palmdale, Johnny Ditto. He's got a car detailing service. He used to work with me at the Antelope Valley Press. Johnny, if you're on here, man, let me see you. Where are you at? Shout out to Johnny Ditto, man. He's got a great family. Been blocked on my channel from connecting, so not sure if these show up. Yeah, I'm seeing you live music. El Paso, Texas. I want that ringtone. Oh, can you guys hear the ringtone? It's when Trish called, you heard that ringtone? It's Jarvis from Iron Man fame. Idaho, got out of California. Rodney Baxter, Pickens, South Carolina. I can't remember if it was North Carolina or South Carolina, but I was in a Indian moccasin shop. I think it was in Charlotte, North Carolina. In 1977, the day they announced that Elvis Presley died. That's where I was, in Charlotte, North Carolina, in an Indian moccasin shop. I was 10 years old. Bryce says, answer the phone. Daniel says, you got to call. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, OC, California, Seattle, Canada, Tennessee, Oregon, Florida, Maine, Missouri, Huntington Beach. I bought Ghostface. I bought a Honda CBR 929RR yellow and black from Huntington Beach. The name of the dealership was this is back in 2002. Fast Cycles. It was called Fast Cycles in Huntington Beach. Is it still there? I don't even know. Pennsylvania, JC, don't forget Patrick at Disenthrall will be doing their 7th Feed the Homeless in Dallas. That would be an awesome thing to do a man on the street thing with. Feeding the homeless, that is so awesome. Check it out and please support him. Awesome, man. Thank you, JC. But Buster says gnosis, knowing. That's where the truth flows from. Amen. Chicago, Southern California, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, Europe, Johnson City, Tennessee. Johnson City, Tennessee. Who does rock me, mom, like a wagon wheel. Portuguese says Sacramento. What's the announcement? I missed it. I put in my 2-week notice. I'm going to do YouTube full time. Maryland, Eastern Shore, Washington, Illinois. Lock your doors there. Nashville, Palmdale. Steve Paul. Montana, Myrtle Beach. High Impact, Australia. Cool, Hill. Thanks for joining us. Osef says we need that deeper stuff. Yes, we do. That ringtone. I can't believe you guys can hear the ringtone. That's so funny. Sir, you have a call. Shall I send it to voicemail? Hey, what's up? What's up, Real Truth? Babylon equals confusion. Missouri. We're at in Missouri. Like Missouri is just my northern border state. Matter of fact, what's the name? I can't think. What's the city that we stopped in on our way to St. Louis where I did the open carry? Do you guys remember my video that went viral as soon as I uploaded it? And I only had like 1,000 subscribers back then, but I think it was in 2014. I uploaded a video called, I think the title was something like open carry chicks versus a cop with AR-15 rifle or something. Learned a lot since then, man. Learned a lot since then. Arizona, Oregon, Maine, Oregon again. Shut up. Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Hey, is Logic Before Authority in the house? I didn't see him. Logic, if you're in the house, let me know. Logic Before Authority is an excellent channel, man. That guy pours his heart into keeping an eye on current events. That's what I love about social media. That's what I love about YouTube, you know. I just hope we can continue doing it. Indiana, Halifax. What part of Indiana? I grew up in South Bend, Indiana from 1967 when I was born until 1980 when we left for Nashville. All right. I need to get going. Austin, Texas. You know what would be cool? It would be cool to do a meet and greet in Texas at Dealey Plaza where Kennedy was shot. On the X, on that street right there. I mean, not standing in the street because, you know, it's a busy street. But wouldn't that be cool? Doing a cool meet and greet right there in Dealey Plaza. Who's up for that if you're in Texas, man? That's a 5.5-hour drive from me, but I would love to do that. Quiet Storm says my firearms were lost in Lake Minnetonka. That's so funny because I lost all my firearms in a boating accident. How does that keep happening to people on this site? I don't even get it. That's so weird. Halifax, Oregon. Night Court was an awesome TV show. Let's see. Hey, old man, let me hold $1. All right. I'm coming home, baby. Oh, shoot. Let me deal with this super chat. Let's see. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. JC says, please support Patrick at Disenthrall. They will be conducting, I already read that, but I didn't read the super chat part of it. Conducting a feeding the homeless for the 7th time. Check out why they do it and please support them. JC, I've given you a wrench. Can you drop a link? You have the ability to drop a link as an admin, so drop a link in the chat. I would love to. Also, get with Disenthrall and have him email me in contact@highimpactflix.com and just identify himself who he is. Because I would love to get with him to help feed the homeless. That, oh my gosh, I'm stoked about that. All right. Man, guys, thanks for staying with me. Okay, one more super chat. Ocean A says Presley did die. He went home. Men in Black? MIB? Men in Black. Is that what you mean to say? Dang it. Christopher Siebert, thank you for the super chat. All right, I'm going to the end here. Let's see. Did I miss another one? Dustin Forrester, thank you for all that you do, Brian. Thank you, man. I appreciate that super chat. Okay, guys, I got to head home. I dropped a link. It will give lots of you the guts to actually stand for yourselves. Okay, man, cool. You did drop the link? Okay, I missed it, but I appreciate it. Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate you. Let's do this. Let's just have each other's back, guys. Let the truth seep into your heart, and let's just have each other's back and do all the good we can do to everybody we can, everywhere we can, every chance we can, just because we can. I love and appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next heavily censored Shadow Band live stream and video.